Our next question, come on up. Do we have a question back there? Come on. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll get to you next. Why don't you come up first?
My question this morning, I first want to say thank you very much for this morning's conversation. And I was happy to be in a room with great-granddaughter Eleanor Roosevelt. And what I want to say is, we know that Eleanor Roosevelt had a legacy that she has carried on till today. And what legacy will Hilary Clinton bring as a president? Having been the wife of a president, what can we expect from her as women? What will she bring out, us women? What is she going to bring us forward? How will she bring us forward? I hope I was clear.
Perfect, very clear, and jumping the gun on the election a little, but we'll pose it as a hypothetical.
Yeah. I hope that 4 years from now we will be having the conversation of what legacy has President Hillary Clinton left for us. I think the fact that she is one of the most experienced and qualified presidential candidates in our nation's history to be running for office, beyond being the wife of a president, had something to do with getting a massive couple of legs up, but she also on her own has served this country admirably. So I think what we should hope that her legacy will show is that experience and persistence. I've never seen another person in this country who has tried and tried and tried and failed and tried and tried and tried, and I hope that our daughters and young women look to that sense of ambition and persistence as something that can help you actually achieve your goal. But the book has yet to be written on what her legacy will be as a president.
And I agree with everything that she said, and I think, just accentuating again this idea of having that, symbol of a woman president for young girls, and hopefully will encourage more young women to go into political leadership. But I also think there's something different. Women bring to leadership our, femaleness and our own set of experiences. And so having a woman talking about whether it's going to be about sexual assault or about childcare or about women's health or about reproductive choice, it's just different. That she can talk about it in a much more authentic way, because sexism, all of these things are things that she experiences, and I think that will be very galvanizing for women. I also hope that she seems to be much more comfortable talking about women's issues this time around than she was in the 2008. So I would hope and expect that she will use her position to highlight women's issues as she has in this campaign. At least that would be my hope.
I would add one thing, which I think is a flip of for Hillary Clinton, but I think ultimately it's about, if she gets elected, we know from the electoral map, it'll be about a coalition. And to bring your question back to the role of Latinas, I think when different sectors of this country recognize the power that they potentially have, if they actually leverage their voices and become politically active, or even just in the way of voting, I think that's going to be an interesting conversation, right? So I think that there are people who will look and say, oh, I think it happened with the Obama coalition, frankly, right? Like suddenly what we thought of as the standard map of how you win was no longer the map. Right? That there actually could be a different map if you could energize different people. And I think that could be part of what people look back on to elect a female president, if it does in fact happen, will be who was in the coalition and how did they turn out, and what role did they play in the election of a female president that they can be heartened by if that was something that they wanted to see.